What makes a creator create? Hi, my name is Pierce K. Jackson. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please. Recently, I just came back from one of the greatest events any content creator can go to, DreamCon. And this isn't just for content creators, but it's leaning towards that way, but cosplayers, nerds, for black creators in general, of all sorts. That being said, I always want to pick people's brains. I want to understand how they got to where they were or what made them want to be a creator. So whether they're big, small, or somewhere in between, I try to dive deeper and try to pick brains as much as I can. Now, a lot of times I do it off camera, but this time I decided to capture that. So if you're a creator of any source, this video should provide you with some type of context and maybe even encourage you in some type of way. So without further ado, here you go.
What do you think DreamCon brings to not only the black community, but like the content creation space or music, sports, whatever in general?
It provides freedom. Like, it makes people feel like they can do whatever they want to do. They don't have to like hide their interests. It just brings a sense of community. And I always leave feeling like I've made at least 10 more friends.
With DreamCon being like an every year thing, what do you think DreamCon does for African Americans or creators, cosplayers in general? Like, how do you feel about it?
I personally think it's another way to actually like collaborate with other people in the terms of course, creativity, but I want to say something a little bit more deeper than that. I feel like it's on a whole nother like spectrum of creativity. There's different types of creativity out there, but with like full pledge of being yourself and everyone able to accept you for being yourself and being here for things that you actually truly like.
When I was recording this video, I ended up running into this next creator you guys are about to see, and we just fed off each other like quickly because I asked him some riddles. I asked, like just being funny, getting clips off, whatever, just doing stuff for the video, right? Because he is a smaller creator just like myself, and so it was like the perfect person to ask this question.
As a creative, what made you start creating, and what do you think your purpose is as a creator?
Oh damn, we getting deep.
Yeah, I got to. Niggas be funny all the time, but I need people to see like you for you. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I think my purpose is to entertain. I know that's everybody's answer. When I didn't want to do this at first. Like, I pushed down content before. I didn't want to stream or nothing like that. I didn't like to be on camera. But once I started doing it, actually it was my best friend that said I couldn't do it. And that's when I started to do it.
Your best friend told you you
he's like, I don't see you doing that type of content or anything like that.
That's not your best.
Yeah, that's not shit. It's not your move list. But when I started doing it, I fell in love with it immediately. Like, I tried to make it a hobby. It couldn't stay as a hobby. Yeah. I started doing like, all right, we're gonna do 3 days a week. And then once school ends, like when I'm at school, I was thinking about this. When I was at work, I was thinking about this. There's not 1 second that goes by that I haven't thought about this at all. Yeah. So this is like my number one thing. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get it or die trying. Like,
I swear to you, I started rewatching One Piece, and Luffy, his whole motto is
Zoro lover, but fuck a Luffy.
It's either I'm gonna get it or I'm gonna die trying. So I completely agree with that. I think it's a blessing that we have like the ideas of like, okay, I want to be the best I possibly can. I don't need to be the biggest streamer. I don't need to have all the money in the world. It would be nice to get a little nice. But it's more than a blessing to be able to just work for myself and do something like that. So
in this past year, I have been blessed with people that like genuinely want to see me win and kind of throw me into situations where they know I'll thrive. People like Trey, Colors, Laney. I mean, there's a bunch of people I could just like name off. I'm now in a space where people are starting to see my face a little more, and people are starting to remember me from events I've done. On these next two interviews, it's Sauce Kill and Aim High, and they immediately remembered me from an event we've done, and so we talked about that a bit. Or like every year I do a video with Aim, so he kind of has like a glimpse of like, dang, I know this guy. I might not know his name, but I think he recognizes my face just a little bit. And if he doesn't, maybe I'm just making it up. I don't know. To be even the slightest be recognized by people you watch is crazy to me. And so when I'm asking them these questions, it's like, man, I'm getting real game.
What made you want to start creating, and why do you do it?
Damn, bro, I just love it, bro. I love creation. I love the art. Like, I love seeing people make their dreams come to life, bro. It's fire. That's how I like to do it.
Well, congratulations, man. Keep going.
Yeah,
I think for me, like, it inherently, like, it's a little bit selfish. Through a couple different things that happened to me, I think in my early 20s, early college years, like, I feel like I developed almost like, I hate to say it because they're evil, but like Sith, not revenge, but like validation. Like, I want to prove to myself that I am who I say I am.
Right.
For me, like, that has kind of taken place in the form of content creation and streaming. And I think just finding something, and I think this is not like like at all like something to skip over. Finding a community of people like an agent, AMP, who like are willing to let someone like me fail and still be like, hey, like, keep going, keep doing this, keep doing that. Because not a lot of people get that. And so I think for me, I would say like the thing that is my why is, you know, proving to myself that I can do something, but also my why is to make sure that, you know, I don't disappoint. For example, my mom, she died when I was 16, but she would always tell me that I was destined for great things. My mom's not a liar, so I better go out and go do those things. You feel what I'm saying? And in the same way, Agent, Duke, Kai, right, all of AMP be telling, hey, you got potential. Guess what? They're not liars either, so I better go out and make it work. You feel what I'm saying? So that is kind of my why of like, let me make sure that I'm validating not only myself, but also those people that believe in me.
And it's conversations like these. Like for me to be able to talk to AIM every single year and have a great conversation. The conversation only gets better every single year. I just can't thank AIM enough for this conversation. And when you have these conversations, I feel like both sides get something from it. Whether like when you start speaking, you start realizing, okay, wow, I didn't know I felt like this. Okay, I can implement this. And so even after this, he said even more.
Yeah,
that's kind of,
I appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Every year we do this. Every year we make it look stupid. And then at the end, we come together to, you know, let out a little truth, let out a little,
because I always say, like, I don't need to be the biggest creator. I don't need to make the most money. I just want to make a living doing something I love.
Yeah.
And so I'll always do these videos. I'll always come to DreamCon because I think it gave me a different type of drive that I didn't think I had, but I have. Even with Streaming University, I don't know, you might not have saw it, but I did like Streaming University news every single day. I was doing it. I worked 12-hour shifts.
That's so sad.
I had to go home and edit, record.
All I would say to you, bro, is that passion and stuff that you talk about, like, keep looking at that, keep finding that. Because in my opinion, right, like, content creators are not watched because of what they do. They're watched because of how they make people feel. So, you know, I would say, like, when you find your passion and you find something that you really love, ultimately people see that, and it's not a fake reaction. It's not you trying to make something that's not there. They see it for what it is, and then that connects with them and makes you relatable, makes them feel something, and that's ultimately the reason why they're going to come back. So to me, it's like, bro, whatever it is, you can identify it for a fact that you love it, chase that, and just think all the time, like, how can I turn this into content? How can I turn this into content? And eventually you'll start turning the things that you love into content, and I think you'll see not necessarily growth, but you'll see the people who are in your community start to recognize that. And I think that will give you more shit to do that will eventually start bringing people in. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it all starts with, do I love this or not?
If you don't love it, you're not gonna last that long.
You know what I'm saying? I tend to think about like relationships and things of that nature. Like if I'm with a girl, right? Like not every guy has developed this sixth sense, but if a girl not texting you back, gang, like, right? Like how hard is it to text? You know what I'm saying? If I want to text somebody, I'll text them. It takes 2 seconds. If she's not responding to me, gang, hey, she probably just doesn't want to talk to me. So in the same sense, if I'm doing content creation, but I'm struggling on doing the basics, if I'm struggling on doing things that I really feel like are important for me, do I really want to do it? Probably not. So I'm doing something that I don't want to do.
Right.
And people can see that through content creation and know that like you're doing this and you don't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why would we watch that? So yeah, bro, just find that and keep doing your thing, bro. I appreciate you.
What do you think DreamCon does for creatives, cosplayers, or just the Black community in general?
I think the biggest thing that helps everybody come together and share what they can bring to the table. Not only that, but it's just, I don't know, it's for us. It's for Black people. We finally got an event where we can showcase our skills and celebrate being anime fans, celebrate doing things on YouTube, whether you are a content creator. It's just your time to, you know, come together and
Now, we all start small, true, but some people are able to have a polarizing personality. When you have a polarizing personality, you catch lightning in a bottle, and you're just being you end up like Kai Uwu's. Meeting Kai was kind of like, to me, it was like a full circle moment for the Streaming University thing for me. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did the Streaming University news. Kai was one of the first streamers out of the Streaming University list that I went and I was like, something different about her. I remember the people I looked at when that list first came out, I was like, okay, I need to go look at some of these small streamers. So Danny, Kai, Datboy Geo, and I think Snowcone were like the 4. I kind of like immediately searched and I was like, I wonder, like, you know, I just want to see him. And like everybody at Stream University did their thing. I'm like, that was so tough. But meeting Kai was kind of like, I don't know, it was cool for me because it was like, I did this. She was one of the first people I pointed out in Stream University. She said she's gonna do an interview, but like obviously she couldn't because she was freaking streaming 24/7. So like I couldn't fault her for that. And then she reached out. I reached out to her. She said yes. She reached out to me like on the last day of Stream University. She was like, "Hey Pierce, like, you're going to DreamCon? Like maybe we can do the interview there." And I was like, I would love to, because I just don't. I'm real big on like I don't want people to think I'm trying to leech off them or mooch off them or pull something out of them. I want things to happen organically. I want them to be natural. And Kai is genuinely just a sweet human being. Like, I was like, I'm down. But like, if you're doing like, if you got stuff, like, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing, twin. But no, she reached out to me after I had reached out to her, not saying like I got motion or nothing. And so, yeah, I got her to answer these questions, and it was, man, I was low key excited, but like I kept calm. I kept my composure.
So as a creator, what do you think your purpose is in creating, and why do you create?
I think purpose, I actually had this conversation with Tylo. I told him I know that it's rooted in community building and like safe spaces, like kind of non-traditional safe spaces where it's like you still have that kind of like fun, the teasing area, but it's like very much like regulated, you know, where it's like you can still have fun. It's not like overly like, don't say that. I think it has something to do with community. But the reason that I started just because I was in a bad place myself, and I think that's why I know that it's community. And I watched a lot of streamers who just kind of helped me through it. Like didn't even chat, just enjoyed like watching them hang out with their friends and stuff. So I'm like, I would like to be that for other people. And I think that there is this meta of like big, exciting things happening online in general. Yeah. And I just kind of want to be a chill space for people to come to, you know, like you can still laugh, have fun, and have energy. But you can also stay calm and, you know, kind of like lean into that side of yourself. So
what do you think DreamCon brings for not only African Americans, but the creatives for a space like this? What do you think DreamCon brings?
I think non-judgmental spaces and also non-sexualized safe spaces. I think that as Black people, we get sexualized a lot. But like, it's a very strange thing where, you know, it's like there is this racism, but there's also this, people are like enamored by the idea of like our bodies. And like, it's just like very strange to me. But I think that being here, a lot of people like, and you can see it in the way that people are like showing themselves, like people are dressing up, feeling safe. They're not feeling like they're going to be judged for something. I think that's a great thing about cons in general, but this one especially, I think like you can lean into yourself so much more without feeling that like sense of, am I being too much? Am I going to be judged for presenting myself this way because of my race or, you know, anything like that. So I think it's just a really nice safe space for like Black creators and creators of color to come together and just showcase themselves without feeling the judgment of it.
I think it's the best place to try to network, get to meet your people, and like just have fun. I feel like, and be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
I think like open space to be comfortable with people who are similar to you and not like looked out on the outside. You know what I'm saying?
2016 specifically, I started watching a lot of Dashi. After that, I kept seeing this guy by the name of JD. JD kept coming on channel. I'm like, dang, this guy cool. Like, I feel like we got the same type of vibe. So I started watching JD. So JD and Dashi were some of the YouTubers I started watching a lot. I'm talking a lot. And so to be able to have this conversation with somebody who basically ushered me into content creation without him even knowing it was... I'm not the type to like scream and like fangirl or whatever. I give props and then say thank you, no love. But like, it's just like in my head, I'm like, I'm really having this conversation with somebody who helped me get into content creation. And he didn't even know. And so like that conversation meant the world to me, bro. I literally can't even explain how I felt like just having that conversation. And then like, and if you don't know JD, run. He's, you know, a content creator. He was a YouTuber. And I think he also does acting too. But it took me years to find out that his dad was John Witherspoon. Pops from Friday, granddad from the Boondocks. I was like, oh, that's his son? I was like, I didn't know that. I just know him for being a great YouTuber. But nah, this conversation was crazy to me.
You being a creator for as long as you have been, your father being one of the greats, What do you think? What is the reason you started creating, and why do you continue to create?
Okay, reason I started creating was on a whim because I was an actor for like 2 years and I wasn't getting any jobs as an actor. So then I said to myself, well, I might as well. A friend of mine told me to do YouTube, and I'm like, sure, I guess I can make some skits in between time. In between, I book a job, and then I just really enjoyed it. And then why do I still create? Because I just love creating. You got to have that outlet, and you got to enjoy yourself, and you got to make the things that make you happy. And I feel like there's days where, we make stuff for the algorithm so that we can, hopefully get the dollars or do whatever it is or get popular. But at the end of the day, you got to still make things for you. And like I used to go to school for art. I started recently drawing again, and I was like, man, I forgot how good it feels to draw. It feels so good. Yeah. So I've been drawing cartoons and silly stuff in my little journal and notebook at home. So yeah, I think it's just like you gotta fulfill that creative itch.
Gotcha.
So that's what it is.
And what do you think for Black creators in general, maybe even not creators, or just like cosplayers, people that just come just for fun? What do you think DreamCon brings for African Americans or people in general?
Honestly, I think it brings everything. I've never been to DreamCon before, but this is beautiful to see.
Yeah.
This is beautiful to see, and I love the fact that there are so many creators of different backgrounds and colors and nationalities and everything who are just here coming together to have a good time. So DreamCon, I want to say DreamCon is going to be, in my opinion, like the future of conventions, like a convention where everybody is welcome, and it's not about how popular you are or what your social status is. It's just like, do you like to create? Well, that's why you should be here.
I continue to be a creator because I enjoy making people happy. You feel me? It's about the joy that I can bring to other people's day. That is just like amazing. You feel me? That's the good ass feeling right there.
Okay. And then what do you think it means to be a creator?
Turn nothing into something.
My friend told me this the other week.
If I'm not tired by the end of this weekend, I didn't do my job. But what I learned mostly from the creators is kind of just be yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't think about people saying, oh, this person not good enough, this person not good enough. Think about your why and stick to that why in your mind. You can do anything you put your mind to. Just create. If somebody has something to say about it, cool. If you love what you're doing, it doesn't matter what anybody else. I mean, obviously, like, you want to grow, you want people to like your stuff, but just, you need to find the good balance of pleasing the audience, but more so making good content that you enjoy. Yeah, just food for thought.